What's going on, guys? Welcome into episode 127, I think, which will, I guess, go down as one of the most cursed episodes ever because everything is going wrong. You guys know, first off, thank you for being flexible. Man, yeah, we had yesterday work got in the way. I couldn't make it back in time. I had to move it to today, and that means BlueTheRobot couldn't make it, so just have me and Buff now. And to top it all off, the cherry on top is I'm about to get hit by a thunderstorm that could knock out power and or the internet in like 15 minutes to a half hour. So that's how things are going for me. How are you doing, Buff?
I'm good, man. I just got back from the gym and podcast time, so I'm ready to go.
How was the workout today?
It was good. I did back, rear delts, and biceps. A little bit of cardio, some abs, a little sauna, and yeah, pretty sick pump. It was nice.
Nice. I had to move back my workout as well, so I did the chest and triceps today, the typical Monday.
There you go. There you go.
Today. It worked good.
Less people on the bench, I'm sure.
That's right. It was a natural bench press day for once in my life. Yeah, man. Holy cow. I'm just trying to get, I think I got the chat fixed too. I also broke that. It is a cursed week, man. Like, I'm really trying to screw up this whole podcast thing, man. Jiminy Christmas. Holy cow. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay, chat should eventually start working. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm one of your co-hosts, Crash, joined by Buffnerd Gaming. You guys know the drill around here. We're going to talk about some FPS news and stuff today. The chat is now on the screen. So you guys are part of the show, so chat away so when people watch it back they can see you. If you guys want to support the show, share it around, be a friend, tell a friend. Buff's drinking his own piss, and then we will do sorry, I broke my
delicious, man. Sterile, and I like the taste.
That's right. You don't have to do it, but it's sterile. I like the taste. Next week, or dude, I'm gonna get it together. It's fine. I am. There's an audio version if you're interested. This is what happens when you have a small child in your house. You don't sleep either. So I have coffee and it'll come together. Don't worry, chat. If you're on the audio versions, allegedly, if you leave a review, it helps us out. I don't know if that's true or not, but it might be.
We can run a test, and I'm hearing chat saying we need potentially production crew needs to realign the chat on the screen if possible. But yeah, we can run a test. If everybody leaves a comment on the podcast, we'll see what happens.
No, I want to leave the chat unaligned, so it will piss more people off, and then more people will chat, and we get more interactions, and the algorithm will push out the podcast.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, get on my level of content creation, guys. You purposely make mistakes, and people call you out. You get more interactions, pushes out your content. Easy. Follow me for more ideas.
That's 200 IQ play right there.
That's it. Stuff. That's it. I'll fix it. Everybody relax. Jiminy Christmas. We got the formatting police out in force today. Holy cow, dude. All right, I'll get it fixed. Well, you been playing any games or anything cool?
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing. Now that I'm a PC elitist, just been having fun with. Did some Ready or Not the other couple of days ago, like over the weekend stuff. It was really fun. Last week too, we were doing it. So yeah, running it with mods. We had, I think, 4 of us together running some Ready or Not, which was. I mean, especially when you're running it with mods, like just your own, different weapons and stuff like that. The game is amazing by itself, but running it with mods and like a team is just a blast. So I had a lot of fun with that. So I put out some videos for that. I'm excited to do some more streams with that one too.
It's one of those games I'm just such a jerk about.
I feel like you'd love it. You'd love it if you play with people for sure. I mean, playing it solo is really fun too, but just playing it with buddies is.
It's where it's at.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot. I mean, I'm playing like Ready or Not. we'll get into it here with the Steam Summer Sale. I got Wildlands and Breakpoint on PC now, so I can run those with some different mods. Incursion Red River, still having a blast with that. Ground Branch and some other stuff. So yeah, I mean, my Steam library is filling up pretty quickly. Good.
I could get on my high horse here.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. I played the other night, streamed Battlefield 5 again, and it's so good. And people are talking shit on it again. Like, stop. It's not cool anymore. Like, it used to be cool to talk shit on the current Battlefield, but Battlefield 5 is amazing. Stop it. Get some help. They're like, bad animations, bad this, bad that. I'm telling you, man, it's got everything except the modern setting, and it's great. Like, the only, like, you could talk about how some of the tank mechanics and the attrition kind of sucks. Maybe like there's some little stuff with the recoil that decouples from the center of the screen. It's not too noticeable if you're trash like I am. But other than that, dude, it's peak Frostbite. The movement is perfect. It's got a server browser. Like, it has the class system. It's a good Battlefield game, man. And it's like, you go play the old ones and they're great. Battlefield 1's immersive, 4 is, you know, legendary, 3 and all that stuff, but they actually feel dated. Battlefield 5 feels modern. It looks great and runs great. And I'm tired of people talking shit on it just to be in the cool kids club. Stop it. You're better than that. Be honest.
Especially the movement for Battlefield 5. Like, to be fair, I never played it past the beta, so I can't really weigh in. But the movement that I've seen and that you've talked about and watching gameplay since, like, the movement, I'll give it is definitely awesome. I think the number one killer of Battlefield 5 was that it was a World War II game. If they had done that, like, you take the movement system and everything like that and throw it in a modern setting, like a Battlefield 3 or 4 setting, modern day, best Battlefield ever.
Yeah, that, I think it was Danny on PC that said I was like, it's great, and I was like, name some things, and he's like, the animations are bad. Like, what? Like, that's not, man. Yeah, I don't think I've ever got onto Battlefield 5 and started playing. I'm like, oh, this reload animation, this is unplayable. Like, it completely killed it for me.
Yeah, it sounds like Danny. But I mean, the reload, I mean, it's World War II. You know, I'm not, especially if it's modern day stuff. I mean, I'll pay attention more to the animations, but that's not something that's like an immersion breaker for me for that kind of stuff. I think games with unique animations, like Battlefield's always done a good job. Like, you know, the legendary AN-94 animation from Battlefield 3, I think, the reload animation, a lot of that stuff. So
yeah. So we got to be careful. Get down on the Battlefield train again. Go down the rabbit hole. We'll just bitch and moan. And then Blue's at home right now going, thank God I'm not on this show. Because we'll talk about Battlefield for like 45 minutes straight, and his eyes just glaze over, and he's like, dude, come on, we get it already. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. We touched on it a little bit, but we've had some feedback on the show in the past about talking about games that are already out and stuff, not just the new and upcoming stuff. So I think it's the perfect time to talk about the Steam Summer Sale. So there are a lot of games on sale all across the board. But Buff and I wanted to talk about some of our favorite ones that you might be interested in too. And I'll just go first because we've already talked about it. But I know pricing verifies by region, so I'll give you guys approximate values. But Battlefield 5 on Steam is like $3.50 or something. So crazy. Yeah, it's insanely cheap. It actually has usually, last time I looked, higher player numbers on Steam than Battlefield 2042. So if you like maybe played it on console and switched to PC it's sometime in there and don't have it on PC yet or anything like that, or if it just for any reason, if you don't have Battlefield 5 yet, I would 100% recommend getting it. It's a steal at that price for everything that you get within it. And also it does play a fair amount better now. I streamed it the other night and we didn't have any super crazy rage hackers. The EA anti-cheat is working in there. I'm hopeful that maybe it, you know, like the EA anti-cheat like got like the super crazy, because there were a lot of rage hackers, like just insanely crazy, easy to spot hackers. I'm hoping it maybe got them out, and since it's maybe not a current game, maybe the cheat developers aren't supporting it. So like maybe like it'll kind of be like, you know what I mean? Okay for a while, cheater wise, but it plays well, and it's $3.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, you can't go wrong for $3.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
What do you got?
I think like my biggest one, you guys are into Ghost Recon. Like I got Wildlands and Breakpoint for the Steam sale. They were both like $4.50 or something like that. I think it was dollars. There's also like a whole Ghost Recon bundle with I think like there's like 5 classic Ghost Recons, including Wildlands and Breakpoint, all on sale for a total of that bundle being $24. So you get like Advanced Warfighter in there, I think it was, and some of the originals also. So that's a really good bundle if you wanted to try those. And then you also have, I saw Medal of Honor 2010 was on sale also for, I think it was like $4 or $5 if you guys are into that. So that was a really good game campaign wise. Medal of Honor 2010, great story there for sure if you guys want to check that one out. But yeah, Wildlands, I'm pumped for Wildlands. There's new first person mods and stuff that there were some videos on. I think it was Def did a video the other day showing off this first person mod with like a reshade and a fisheye to kind of make it look like body cam like. So I'm working on installing that now and definitely looking forward to doing some content with that. But again, like under $5, it's a great time to get some of these games.
Yep. Some other ones I actually purchased. People have been telling me to play it for years, both in the podcast community and on my Twitch stream and in Discord. I purchased Hunt Showdown. So nice. I have it. I have Hunt Showdown. I'm going to give it a try. I think it was like $14. So that, like 70% off or something like that. So I'm going to try Hunt, guys. I'm going to give it a go. I've heard that it looks cool. The setting is cool and the audio is outrageous. So I'm going to try it. I'm probably going to get destroyed because, like I do, I come into really hard to play shooter games 5 years after they've been out. Everybody who's still playing are incredible chads, and I will probably get destroyed. But I'm going to try it.
I like it. Yeah, I've never played it either. It always looked good. Yeah, it's like a really good battle royale.
Is that guy real in chat?
I don't know. Could be a bot.
All right, that's wild. Yeah, that's wild. I'm thinking about addressing that, but we'll get to it in a minute. Another one that's on like a crazy sale is Back 4 Blood. So a zombie game, like if you're looking for something to just chill out on and play, not necessarily super competitive, Back 4 Blood is 90% off. So it's normally $60 and it's only $5.99. So wow. so that's crazy. Cyberpunk's 50% off. I was just looking through here. Like, yeah, the summer sale is crazy. Call of Duty games are actually on sale. The very rare time that those are on sale.
Right. Yeah.
I was gonna look.
Pretty much like any game you've wanted to play, this is the time to get it on Steam because it's gonna be on sale most likely.
Gray Zone Warfare is not on sale.
Oh, that's brand new, so that makes sense.
Battlefield 2042 is overpriced at $5.99.
How dare they ask that much money?
It's still a little steep. Like for 2042, that's a little high. Rainbow Six Siege is $7.99, so it's on sale, pretty good discount. Nice. Fallout 76 is only $9.99, normally $39.99. Yeah, the last Far Cry 6 is on sale for $11.99. Battlefield 1 and all of the DLC is $279.
Wow, that's crazy. Battlefield 1 was a great game.
Yeah, it's $279 for everything. Yeah. Destiny 2, oh, that's always free. I'm just trying to look real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything. Ready or Not is on sale. It's 33% off. Fallout 4 is only $7.99. Did you just?
Man, I paid full. I think I paid full price for it. I mean, not that it's like that expensive, but I bought it a couple months back. So
That's the best. That's the best. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I see that pertain to our audience.
I think there's one. I can't remember what it's called. Um, it's a it's like a really hardcore tactical. It's like very similar to the Ghost Recons, the original Ghost Recons. I'm just trying to. I'll when I find the name of it, I'll bring it up. Don't wait on me. But I gotta scroll around here and find it.
Armory Forger, and I've been hearing like rumors and talks of like more and more people playing Armory Forger and having fun, and there's a lot more experiences being built in there. It's on sale, 40% off, and these are just my prices in the US, $21. Hell Let Loose is also 40% off, so instead of 49, it's 29.99. So those are some other ones. Oh, was it Sandstorm on there? Like it was like $9 or something.
Yeah, Sandstorm's on sale, which is a great game for sure. Still updating that, which is amazing.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Body Cam is not on sale. Ghost Recon Wildlands is $4.99. Oh, Doom Eternal is down to $9.99.
Wow. Wow, I might check that out. That was one I always kind of wanted to try.
Yeah, DayZ's half off. So yeah, it's a great time to get games. It's like crazy. Yeah, like literally everything's on sale except the super newest games.
Black One Blood Brothers is the one I was thinking of. I'm not sure if that's on sale. I didn't check it on Steam, but I'm assuming it probably is. That's a really look now. That's a really tactical. That's like OG Ghost Recon. If you guys are interested, check out some gameplay on YouTube. Definitely, like it seems like a learning curve. Okay, it's not. So it doesn't look like it is on sale. It's only $17.99 though, which is not a bad price. Black One Blood Brothers. So that's a really good game. Unfortunately, not on sale for the Steam sale, but it's actually pretty reasonably priced. That's a good hardcore tactical one for sure. If anyone's interested in that. Big update coming I think next month. Or maybe it's later this month too for that one.
Yeah, Marauders is another one on sale. Battlefield 4 Premium Edition. So everything with Battlefield 4 is $279. So it's really cheap. And it's like, it's just calling the attention to this for you guys. Like, this is a good time. Like, if you recently switched platforms and you don't have some of these games that you like to go play every once in a while, it's a super, super, super good time to pick them up.
Yeah. And I think that's like a good thing, you know, me just switching over to PC is like, that's the main reason I got Ghost Recon, and just getting into some of these other games is like mods is just amazing. You know what I mean? So I have no problem buying games that I've already had on a console just to play with mods. Really enhances the experience for sure. That's the biggest thing I would say console gamers are missing is obviously you don't have nearly the amount of titles, but like mods, it's just game changer.
Yep, for sure. So I think that's the main ones that I saw. Yeah, those are the main ones. The next thing we wanted to talk about today was the Delta Force Alpha has finally been announced. We wondered and wondered when we would get a chance to play it, and it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but July 18th.
Yes, July 18th.
Is for the alpha test. So before we talk about it in detail, a little PSA. Make sure you guys sign up. If you want to play it on PC, sign up at playdeltaforce.com, as well as you can wish list it on Steam. And they'll do the thing where, you know, once it goes live, you can request access on the Steam page and potentially get in. And then I think they're going to do like key giveaways on for Twitch drops and stuff like that as well. That'll go through Steam. But it's really similar. We'll talk about this, or at least I will. It's really similar to Arena Breakout Infinite. So it's going to go kind of the same as that beta test, I think, in my opinion. Did you watch Stoda's video today? I didn't watch it yet.
No, was it on Breakout gameplay or Delta
Yeah,
Force gameplay? No, I didn't get a chance to see it. I saw he posted it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
yeah. So I was gonna play it without his permission. So
Nice.
oops. It's not like he watches this place anyway. But if you guys want to hear about it, Stoda's video, you guys know who he is, especially if you're from the Battlefield community. He played it at TwitchCon, I believe, and
Yeah.
it was kind of, they were tweeting about it, but like every tweet said that it was an ad, so I instantly check out whenever they do that stuff. So they had him tweet about it, but he talks about it, and I haven't watched it yet, but playing it for you guys now.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing the Havoc operations, which is the this is the extraction mode. That's what it is.
But there's
Which
like
looks
there's
awesome.
a lot of hype for this game, man. I think there's a
Mhm.
lot of people putting their DMZ faith in it. Like a lot of people that are like out of a game to play that love DMZ are
Mhm.
really looking forward to this. You've probably watched a little bit more gameplay than I have. I made a video last week and I tried to familiarize myself with it just a little bit, but I just man, I super get the same vibes as like Arena Breakout Infinite. It feels like the same engine. It has the same look to it, but at the same time, it looks like it also has the same optimization and like the same polish. Like the UI looks really clean. It looks like it has a ton, like a lot of quality of life stuff, like how
Yeah.
you can do like set up your character and move through the menus and things like that. And the HUD looks really, really clean. And all that stuff. Yeah, and like they're showing now, like the specialists really bum me out. I hope the specialists aren't crazy, but um, yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen them being like too overpowered for the abilities. So they seem relatively balanced from everything I've seen. But again, we'll get our hands on it here this month, and I think the extraction. But I'm really excited for it. And, the alpha's only on PC, so I'll try plugging in a controller just because like I'm pretty comfortable with where I am on PC skill wise now. But I was really good at DMZ, and that's just I'm never gonna shake being good on it, like as good as I am on a controller. I'm not sure which I'm better on, but I'll see. Eventually, I'll plug in a controller if I need to down the road. But I'm excited to get my hands on it for sure. Um, I definitely think I can compete better on controller though, so we'll have to see.
I wonder if it
But
has aim
the
assist.
guns,
Like, I wonder if it has aim assist like COD, depending on your input.
yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't even know if controller support will be available for the alpha.
Yeah, Wu
But
saying that
again,
it's not, but
okay. So, I mean, this will be available on all platforms and it will be cross-play. Mobile will be separate. I'm hearing in recent news those, but it'll be cross-platform, cross-play. So when it does come out, it'll be available on consoles and you can play the PC, etc. Same as it is with Call of Duty. So that'll be really good. So I'm sure after the alpha, obviously controller support will be in there. But I'm like Wu just kind of mentioned, I'm sure it'll just be only mouse and keyboard for this test.
yeah. Yeah, it's exciting to see some of these things. Like I really get excited like when I see him searching for stuff and how the inventory works and the thought of like every raid there's like a main item to get that puts you on
Mhm.
the map that you extract with to get like super high tier loot, but it puts you on the map. And I think similar to like the weapons cases in DMZ that
Yeah,
put you on the map, you can see him carrying his down teammate, which is awesome.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm really glad to see that. Move them so you can revive on behind cover is such a good. See, and this is, I mean, he's only showing right here is the extraction mode, the Havoc or Hazard Operations, the extraction mode. I mean, in there it's a third person, which is cool. So I'm not sure if he's spectating. I think he's spectating somebody, right? Or is he toggling third person? I'm not sure what that is. That probably have to go watch Todd's video for the context. But regardless, like I just said it before, this is basically, I think, Crash. I know you played a little bit of DMZ. This is what I think a lot of us who were really invested in DMZ wanted the game to evolve into, and it just never did.
yeah. I think I just have these like nagging little negative feelings towards it when it's like you have Arena Breakout Infinite that's really based off of Tarkov, and then I feel like this one was kind of inspired by Battlefield 2042 with like the teal color scheme and like the futuristic specialists and things like that, and like modeling a game after 2042, or I should say taking inspiration from 2042 is a bold move. In my opinion. Like we'll see how, and it's even called like, you know, Hazard Zone versus Hazard Operations. Like
right.
there's just a lot of those same similarities, and like they're doing a all out warfare breakthrough type game mode too, and it just feels, I don't know, it feels like a Battlefield with an extraction mode to it. But if it's good, it's good, and we'll play it. That's really, at the end of the day, that's all people really care about. But you can bet based on, you know, the footage that we've seen and kind of a 10-cent studio. He says no food and water mechanic either, so it's a little bit less hardcore than Arena Breakout Infinite. That's what I envision it being, like a less hardcore extraction shooter, so you can kind of just focus on playing the game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, very much like a finished, polished DMZ.
Yeah.
So, but you know, you do have a heal system. It's not auto heal, so you do need to manually heal yourself, which I like. I think that's something that we talked about here before. I would have liked to have seen that in DMZ, you know, just because that really makes you think through engagements a little bit more. That's kind of the point of an extraction shooter. So the auto heal, I'm glad that's not in the game.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not like, I was for a little bit, but I'm not like filled with blind excitement. Like I have some trepidation about the game with the specialist, and also with like how the microtransactions are going to be, because I kind of think Arena Breakout Infinite went pay to win, in my opinion, where you can just straight up buy in-game money, and you know, you have that deal where you pay for your secure container or whatever. With having specialists, I think that really opens up the opportunity for some really sketchy microtransactions that I'm worried about a little bit. And that brings up the whole other debate of like, well, it's a free to play game, so having to pay for certain parts of the game is okay. Like, I don't know where you stand on that. It just depends to me. It's such a slippery slope, because it comes down to value, and sometimes it's really hard to tell based on like how long you play the game, like what you're getting your money out of. It's so much easier and more straightforward and better, in my opinion, to just buy the damn game, like charge $19 for the game and we'll move, and you're good. You got everything, but or $20-$30 or whatever. I'm not sure how many maps or how big the game is, but to constitute price. But like, I'm much more of a fan of the one and done purchase.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I think with this, like you said, it's less hardcore. It's definitely more arcadey than Breakout Infinite for sure, or more arcadey. So it really, I think I've seen some of the like what the blueprints are. Also from, you know, and some of the Battle Pass stuff leaked for the mobile. I'm sure it'll be similar to Breakout Infinite and Call of Duty mix, like you said. But I agree. I think as long as you're not like a pay to win fully, that's where I have an issue.
Yeah, I think cosmetics might get crazy on this one, where it's futuristic and with the specialist, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I think especially like what I'm seeing though from this gameplay and all the other gameplay I'm seeing, like, you know, if you want a level of immersion, that's already there. It looks like they have great weapon customization, a lot of weapons, more coming. So I don't mind them adding goofier stuff if it's especially a free to play game. I think my biggest issue with games previously has been like, if there's not a level of immersion, like really at all, or there's not attention to that going forward in the game, like we saw with you know, Modern Warfare 2 and 3, where there's just like nothing grounded added ever to the game after launch. So this, hopefully they do it different. But again, the weapon customization is Tarkov-esque, same as Arena Breakout. I would even argue more customization than those games.
Yeah, it looks like it. The other thing that I wonder how they're gonna solve, right? Like my thing with every single extraction shooter is what keeps me playing. Like
Yeah.
what keeps me want to go back is it to be progression and stuff. I really bet this thing will have a shitload of like daily, weekly challenges changing all the time. I don't know what there's gonna be for like a permanent style progression. That is one thing that was kind of nice about Arena Breakout Infinite, in my opinion. As someone who doesn't really want to grind any one particular game for a ton of hours, it
Mhm.
was nice with Arena Breakout Infinite that you could get into it, and if you had the money, you could buy whatever, like you buy top tier gear right off the bat. You didn't have
Yeah.
to play for 70 hours before you could get a good gun. So I'm
Right.
assuming that this will be similar to where you'll have access to some pretty good gear, but I bet there's a ton of challenges, which is I think okay, and I bet they change a lot. So I'll be interested to see. I kind of know how I kind of feel like I know how I'm gonna feel about it and how much I'm gonna play it. But I'm interested to see how the community does, like what the general sentiment around the progression and like challenges and how people feel about it and how the player numbers hold up. It's gonna be cool to see.
Yeah, and I think as far as like progression goes for weapons, I think it from what I've seen, and they could have changed it, it's different from Breakout Infinite and stuff, is where seems like from what I've seen, you need to hit a level cap or something to unlock those weapons to be able to use them in the extraction mode. So you can't just like outright buy the best weapons. At least that's how it was in some of the Chinese tests that they did in China. So we'll have to wait and see what it looks like for this. But you can't just go in and buy like the best gun with the best attachments. You need to hit a level to unlock those first,
Gotcha.
from what I've seen. So that at least, and I think that's a fair way to do it, right? That keeps it similar to like not to compare it to Tarkov, but it keeps it similar to Tarkov, where it's like the wipe, right? Like you're all kind of starting at a relatively equal level, I would say, and then it's rewarding. You're getting rewarded for playtime essentially, um, which is cool. So, but then I mean that could be where some of those microtransactions come in too. So
Yeah, are there traders and stuff? Like, or how do you get your? Is there an
I
in-game
don't.
store?
I don't think there's traders. And I don't know if there is a store. There's not specific traders, but there is like a store. Like you have like items and weapon listed out like at your menu there, and you use the in-game currency to buy them. But at least for what I've seen with the weapons, that weapon needs to be unlocked before you can buy it. But again, it could have changed before this test. But that's how it was in the tests that were taking place in China previously.
Gotcha. Yeah, the specialist abilities are in the extraction mode. That was the guy using like the super speed thing. So the
Yeah, and
specialist abilities are there.
it just gives you, I mean, but again, it's hard to say because they haven't really gone into too much detail with them. But for the speed boost one, I mean, it's not like it's not lasting a very long time, and it doesn't make you like invincible. It just makes you sprint faster for a brief amount of time. But there's no way we'll be able to really know if it's really OP or anything until we get into the game.
Yeah, the one the one that really like hits me with the rage inducing feeling is the recon arrow that tags you through walls. That gets me.
Yeah, it's kind of like what is it in COD? The snapshot grenade essentially is basically what it is along
Yeah.
the trajectory of the arrow essentially.
I
So,
hope it's not like the pike in
oh god,
that's what I thought
Battlefield.
it looked like was Pike from 2042 where she shot that
Yeah,
thing out and then you could see everybody for a while.
yeah. I'm not sure what the radius like around the arrow is for what it shows,
Yeah, I
but
hope there's footstep audio.
there's very good yeah, there is great footstep audio from the tests that I've seen. Like,
Oh
you know,
man.
it's kind of like Arena Breakout Infinite. Arena Breakout Infinite, I thought had good footstep audio, right?
Yeah.
So when people are like running, like you hear it. I mean, it sounds like someone's wearing combat boots with 30 plus pounds of gear running at you. So
Yep. Yeah. No, the more I look at it, the graphics look really nice and I
yeah,
bet they'll be really optimized. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. And I feel like Arena Breakout Infinite did a fairly good job with cheaters. So
Yeah, I think so.
hopefully this does as well. I know they might have got a little too wild. I saw on their Discord that they had to unban some people. Like they had some false bans. They got a little crazy. But at least they hopefully got that sorted out and didn't have anybody false banned that stayed banned. That's never good. But
yeah.
hopefully they got that sorted out, and I like that. The quick menu for heals and stuff looks cool. It looks really polished. It looks really clean. And yeah, I'll be ready to play for it. That week I'll be gone. I'll be gone out of town.
No.
Yeah, of course. For work, the 15th through the 18th, I'll be gone. I get back on the 18th though, so at some point when it goes live, I'll be able to hopefully play it soon after. I think I'll have access to it. I think I'm in their creator program, so I'll be able to get access to it. But I look forward to trying it out.
Yeah, and it starts on the 18th, which is a Thursday. So I'll probably be playing like that day and the 19th also. But I will be doing giveaways for keys going into that. So, and there's also going to be Twitch drops. So I'll be streaming it. And if Crash has it too, I mean, he's gone that week, but there will still be Twitch drops for everybody, and you'll get keys by watching on Twitch. So a couple different ways to do it. I'll be announcing it. I'm sure Crash will. But Twitch drops, you get access to the alpha and other stuff. So, and I'll also be doing some giveaway contests for keys also as we get closer to that.
Nice. Yep. So now it's coming by pretty soon we'll be able to talk about it and react to it, and then that'll be cool to see. It'll be interesting to see what kind of stuff they have like behind the scenes and mechanics, and maybe this video talks about it, but it just came out a couple hours ago, so I wasn't able to watch it yet. But it talks about, like, I'm interested to know like how trading stuff works, like what the loot's worth, crafting stuff like that, or if the loot is just like a placeholder for money that you sell. And
I think it's more of that, the last one you said, from what I've seen. But again, I could be wrong. So definitely watch Dota's video. I think this is, I mean, I've said it before, this is the game that I'm number one. Like this has been number one on my like wish list anticipated games so far of like this year, hands down. So I'm really excited, but I'm a little nervous to be playing it on PC first. So I'm definitely more excited to be able to plug in a controller down the road and play it that way. But I'm still really pumped. I think the amount of weapons in this game are great.
Maybe you'll get the feel of the keyboard and mouse, and it'll force you to do it, and then you'll be like, oh man, this is nice.
I mean, I don't want to like tell myself sure. I'm pretty good on keyboard and mouse, because it's not like I just started playing keyboard and mouse, right? I've played keyboard and mouse on and off my whole life.
Oh, this is your comeback.
Gaming. So I think I like did really well in Breakout. I didn't really have any issues. I think my one thing though was like, muscle memory for the different like keys. Like if you're in a combat situation, right, it's just muscle memory on controller is way more fresh than it is on keyboard for different things. So I'll get there, but
Yep.
But yeah, okay. I think maybe I'll be better. Maybe, like you said, maybe I'm better on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I'm the same way with muscle memory. Like the mouse and the aiming part's pretty natural. I think that's kind of how it is for everybody.
Yeah.
But the keyboard is like, it can get you, and the keybinds, it takes a while to get the keybinds figured out. Even just switching games, as I do play keyboard and mouse on everything, and even just switching games, it takes me a while, especially in the heat of combat, and you just start pressing everything. Like you hope you hit the right one.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to. I like in Breakout. I like fat fingers a couple times too. So.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else with Delta Force. We did miss. I did see. Finn talked about it in chat. We missed one game on sale that we needed to talk about, and Blue wouldn't have let us miss it. We missed Blue. He wouldn't have let us miss it. But Deadside is also on sale.
Oh, and yes.
I'm guessing we will talk about Deadside more next week, because they did put some patches, notes, and stuff out, and some teasers. They're actually adding Jeeps, so like the Russian US Jeeps are coming, and ground vehicles are gonna absolutely change Deadside. That's gonna be pretty sweet. So we'll save diving into what's coming to Dead Zone till next week with Blue because he's the expert on it. But it is like if you want to pick it up, I think it's $9. It's a really cool game, and they're really adding a lot to it. So it's something worth checking out. Yeah. So is the Battlefield mode's going to be in this test too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Is you're gonna have the hazard operations, which is the extraction that you're seeing here, and then the havoc warfare, which is the battlefield type mode, the large scale conquest or section control, whatever it is. That'll be available too. So those two modes. The campaign is obviously saved for launch for the Black Hawk Down. But yeah, you'll be able to play both the multiplayer modes, which is gonna be sick. So if you want to do the extraction you're seeing here, you bounce back and forth between the two. I'm excited for both. I think I'll start with the battlefield mode, right, and like get used to everything, and then jump into extraction. But it seems like from what I've seen people play, like a lot of people were playing the regular multiplayer battlefield type mode to like unlock guns and attachments and stuff, and then go into this maybe. So they're both gonna be great.
It's interesting if there's cross progression, like if you're leveling up a gun or something, like if you get hop over into the battlefield mode and level up the gun and stuff would be.
I think that's how it is from what I've seen. So again, unless they change stuff from the last test to this one, but that's what I've seen is cross progression. So
that's pretty cool. And then I think from how I understand it, this is just me from the trailers. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like there's only one mode for the Havoc Warfare, and it felt like it was like breakthrough, like a sector push.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. I think you're right. But there's going to be like different modes down the road, limited time stuff for sure. Cool. No battle royale they confirmed, which I think is a good thing.
Give me a bomb mode.
Yeah, that's all you want.
Dang it, dude.
But I mean, you can see it on the screen, like he was scrolling through the weapons a little bit there, scrolling through all like the equipment. Like there's a lot in this game.
Yeah, there's a shitload of content, man. Like
yeah, there's at least 47 weapons with hundreds of attachments. So they might even add more. I'm sure they're going to add even more from this test to launch sometime later this year. So
Woo says it's Conquest, Small and Large, and Breakthrough. Jeez, we just get Woo. Can we get Patch Woo in and he can tell us?
He must have watched the like dev interview stuff.
Dude, he's locked in. He's locked into it over there. We need to have him on the show. just filling us in. But yeah, I think the thing that we all hope for is that it's good and it plays well. Yeah. It'd be neat. It'd be really cool. I don't think, even though it's Tencent, I shouldn't say it like this. I initially want to say I don't think they have the resources, but that's not the right word. I don't think they need to build out a game has as much content on the Havoc Warfare side as a Battlefield, if that makes sense. Like, it would be so cool if this was a legit Battlefield competitor and made them get off their ass and actually make a game with more than 7 maps. Like, if this launched with like 14 big maps or something like that. I don't think it's going to. I don't think they need to do that to make their money, so they're probably not going to. I wanted to say it's a resource thing, but with Tencent, it's not a resource thing.
They can do whatever.
But it would just be, it's not going to happen. But it, like, what I would love to see is if this thing like really made DICE and EA sweat and pay attention and give them some competition. Because, you know, we talk about putting Call of Duty to Battlefield and comparing them and Halo as for, you know, AAA first person shooters, but they're really not. Battlefield is still kind of its own thing. And I mean, there's Hell Let Loose, which is bigger scale, and Squad, but those are definitely a lot more hardcore. As far as large scale arcadey multiplayer battle stuff, it's Battlefield, right? And if they had a true competitor that maybe got Vince Zampella sweating a little bit and something to do, it would be I think it'd be a good thing to make them pay attention and wake up just a little bit.
I mean, I think this is good. I'm pretty sure all the disgruntled Battlefield players are going. I mean, it's free to play. And anybody that's like been a fan of Battlefield over the years is going to give this a try for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing.
And it looks like there's a lot to it. You know, you have the vehicle combat, everything there. There's going to be I don't know the amount of maps that there's going to be for that mode, but I think you'd be surprised with what they have. I mean, just the attention to detail here. There's at least 4 hazard operation modes maps that I've seen, and more to come. So there's going to be a good amount of content here. But that's my hope as well. I really hope this is something that gets the dice kind of like, oh, we should probably like make a Battlefield game.
Oh, yeah. It would be this that makes them go, oh, hey, we should maybe build a Battlefield. That might be good.
Right?
Did anyone think of that?
This looks great for sure. I'm really pumped for this, but I do still look at this. You know, I think this is obviously for me. This is going to be like what I wish Battlefield 2042 kind of was. But nothing's ever going to replace like the Battlefield 3 and 4. Mainly the Battlefield 3 like grittiness of it, right? Even though it was an arcade game, it still felt very gritty and immersive. This, like you said, is more arcadey. But again, they're filling a niche here. I think they're going to be very successful, and I think it's not only going to have like EA and DICE with the Battlefield property take notice, but also Call of Duty, because this is going to launch this year free to play. I think they're doing a lot of things that a lot of gamers have wanted to see in a game for a long time, and they're offering like the 2 hottest things in my mind. So
yeah, no, it's really timely from a business standpoint, right? Because they're in such a Battlefield drought again. So all the Battlefield creators have nothing to talk about. So they're going to play this game. They're going to check it out. They're going to cover it. They're going to talk about it. So they have an audience for that. And then, DMZ getting, killed. There's really not like an arcadey fun extraction shooter. You have super hardcore Tarkov. Arena Breakout's a little less hardcore, but it's still pretty PvP heavy. And wild. I mean, it's not even out yet, and you just have all the the standard hardcore survival extraction shooters. You don't have a DMZ type game. So DMZ getting shelved, Battlefield doing its thing with like a 100-year drought between content. It's a really good time. It's not really 100. Don't ban me, don't cancel me. It's not really 100 years. It just feels like that when they end support for a game and it's 2 years till the next one. Especially when all that there was 2042. It really feels like a long time since we got a Battlefield game. But I mean, we're just in a perfect time for them to drop this. Battlefield stagnant, DMC's dying.
See, what you just said is a great point, because I mean, remember World War III? We were like, oh man, this is what we wanted from Battlefield, and they just like flopped hard. But they were in that perfect time frame. This game appears to be much more tested out than World War III was, and has way more money behind it.
Yeah, they were in the mix, and like you said, you can't. It's not like they're gonna have trouble keeping servers running or anything like that. Like,
exactly.
They're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna be okay. But yeah, so we'll be playing it soon. The 18th. Allegedly, some people will be playing it in 10 days. A few creators will get in early on the 12th.
Oh shit!
So that's
really?
what Woo said. Woo's the expert, man. He is the Delta Force dude. So in chat, Woo tells you everything. That's what he says. We're taking it to the bank. We're believing it.
I don't know, Woo. It's not
if he's
in my
wrong,
email.
we have to ban him. We have to get him out.
I might not be in the super elite of content creators to get my hands on it early. Then
been there.
That's sad.
Didn't quite make the cut.
Man, I'm in the good section, just not the best section of creators, I guess, for this. That's sad. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I missed. Maybe there's more emails. We'll see. Not that I can play on 12 anyway.
Check your junk folder. Check the spam folder.
It's probably in there.
Yeah, I got sent to the spam folder.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sweet. Man, this is crazy and a little bit sad, and I was gonna move on to the next thing. We're probably gonna get roasted for it as like we're too old and whatever, but man, the shit that is happening in Call of Duty is so sad to see, man. I literally titled it COD is Unhinged, man. Like, the stuff that's in Call of Duty right now is like just so out there, man. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I guess Tactic Gamer made a tweet like the COD that we grew up with or whatever, it's gone, and it is.
Yeah,
It's
long
long gone.
Never coming back.
No, and I think that maybe it would have happened anyway. But it just feels like another lasting ripple effect of the Fortnite boom. Just these cross promotion crazy skins, because that's all that Fortnite was, right? It was like a free to play game, but like it developed a culture where like kids that played that game were like getting made fun of for having the default skins. Like, oh, it's a default skin. Like, so you had to buy skins to like be cool, and it just started this culture of these crazy skins, and it popped over into Call of Duty, and that's pretty much all COD is now, man. And I get a little bit of both sides of the argument, because at the end of the day, it does, like, the game is still COD like it doesn't really affect the game. But man, it kind of does affect the game, because you play it and it's just like, what am I even playing? Like, it's so, you have dinosaurs, kitty soldiers, you have Gundams now, like, it's weird.
Gonna have a giant chicken soon that turns people into chickens.
Yeah. So I was gonna play that. Too. I did find the tweet. It's in COD Mobile. It is in COD Mobile, but only available in Warzone Mobile so far. But you can't tell me
it'll be there. I already saw like the inspect stuff for it that was leaked, so it'll be there.
Yeah, you can't tell me that something that's causing this big of a stir is not going to be over into the main game. Like, you can't tell me. So yeah, there is a skin that's been shown, and if you would have shown this to me, like, even now that I know, other than like seeing the Verdant stuff, it looks 100% like a Fortnite trailer.
Yeah,
like, dead ringer for a Fortnite trailer.
Right, that is Fortnite. Him on the stage and stuff like this. I agree. If you show this to me, I would have said, "Oh, that's Fortnite doing Fortnite stuff."
Yeah. I could see like a fifth grader being like, "Oh, that's hilarious. I'm gonna ask my parents' credit card so I can buy that." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool. That's gaming. Welcome to 2024." But no, it's Call of Duty, and it's not too big a deal to me anymore, because I've kind of moved on, realizing I'm not really the audience for COD anymore. I still, and I tweeted this out. It's kind of funny. Like, you saw my tweet for my dream game that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like, COD really with Search and Destroy is the closest to me to like a dream game, like a bomb mode that's pretty casual. You can get into and just have fun with friends and play tactical and, play the objective and have one life modes and clutch moments and cool shit like that. So I'll still probably play COD, but I'm not really like a COD fan anymore. And it's fine. It's just a game, and there's other really cool stuff to play. Like, Delta Force is coming and Gray Zone, and we have these cool shooters to play, but it's just kind of sad. You think about the history. You think about the first Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and World at War and like all those like gritty games that got you started to like this. It's just like, dang, it's not the same anymore.
Yeah, I know people like if you're a loser on X who's just like has no life, you're like, oh, you're just an old people, blah blah blah, which is just like, you see that argument, you're just like, what are you talking about? Like, or COD's never been, it's always been an arcade shooter. It's like, so like that, and that's not the argument. I think the argument, a lot of people are like, it's not a milsim game. It's like, there was always been a level of immersion in Call of Duty games. I would argue all the way up to like, even throughout even though Modern Warfare 2019 had its weird stuff, at the end, it was still a very immersive game. Until Raven got involved with making maps and just made some goofy jungle crap and all that stuff. I think that's when everything went downhill, is when Infinity Ward kind of stepped out. And then Modern Warfare 2, I just thought wasn't very immersive. Same with 3. But I mean, that's the thing, is like, I don't have an issue with any of this. I think it's obviously a huge difference from what I grew up with Call of Duty. And I'm not going to be like, oh, we can't change it. It should be how it was back in the old days. But I think it is kind of insane that they're doing, chicken stuff like this and Gundams and all these crossovers, but they can't release, soap with the Gene skin that we've been teased for a year now, and just all the other assets that are already in the game from campaign and stuff, and that you see in trailers that never release, which is weird because I think like for myself, and I know a lot of my my audience would buy all those skins. I haven't bought many skins at all. I bought one bundle in store for Modern Warfare 3, and I think I bought maybe like 10 or 12 in Modern Warfare 2, compared to what I did in 2019 was I bought, dude, hundreds of stuff in 2019 store, because there was good stuff in the battle passes, and there was good stuff in the store, and there was always a good mix. I would say there was like the immersive, more grounded audience bundles, and then there's the more outlandish stuff, which I think is fine. But when you already have the assets for that, and it's been in the game, you even show it in trailers, to not release that, and release these type of things and not anything immersive or grounded, I just think it's weird. I get they're making so much money on this, so you can't fault them for that. But throw us a bone and give us. You can't. It's just weird. They teased that Gene to Soap operator skin for over a year now, and we haven't had it yet, which is just crazy. That's just one of many examples. I just think there's no one's asking for it to be realistic, but like give us some level of immersion back. You know what I mean? I think
I'm to
looking
the point,
back on it, I missed that.
yeah, I'm to the point where it's just kind of like a little bit of a nostalgia sadness from what it used to be. And then but I don't get it either, because like back then I was a fair amount younger, but I still don't think I would have thought the wacky skins were cool. But
No,
I just
and I
understand.
think that went to the tone of the game though at the time too. It was
Yeah,
very
and it's
more immersive.
it really is just annoying, man. Like when you get like slide cancel killed with a Nicki Minaj in high heels, or something like kills you like this and you turn into chicken nuggets, and it's like so annoying. And it's not even because like I died or something. It's like it's probably because I think how much I'd rather have actual content. Like,
Right.
I'm getting killed by this weird dumb shit that I just shakes my head, when I could be playing on like 4 extra DLC maps that I would pay, $10 a pack for, or whatever. Like, to actually have maps and that aren't remakes or resectioned off parts of the big map, or like actual, playable content would be better than this, in my opinion. And it's also frustrating because Activision and like the COD studios and devs have found a loophole. And I also feel like it's frustrating because we can sit here on this show, and we've had these similar conversations several times over the course of this podcast. And you can sit up here until you turn blue in the face and tell people that, you guys are giving them a ridiculous amount of money for so much less product than we used to get.
Yeah.
Right? Even with premium, you pay, $20-$30, you get 16 maps for the year, the weapons, all that stuff. Well, now, instead of designing entire map packs and all that stuff, they design one crazy skin, they charge the same money for it, and tons of people buy it. And they can just do it again and do it again and do it again. Instead of designing maps and stuff, they design crazy skins, which takes less manpower, it's easier. And they have a loophole where they're making more money than ever with giving less product. And we can sit up here until we're blue in the face and say, don't buy that shit. But the little kiddies are going to keep buying it, and we're just powerless. And that's my argument to people who are like, oh, you're just boomers. You just wanted to look bland and milsim. Go play milsim. Go play Tarkov. It's like, no, man. Like, I want to play a nice casual arcadey shooter that looks like I'm on a Spec Op mission or something. Like, I want it to look like, like combat would look. I realize I'm not playing that. I'm not playing a milsim.
But you want the immersion factor.
But even beyond that, I hate to see that our post-launch content, our live service, is now wacky skins and not maps. And I'm I'm so sick of that. And you can just sit here and say that and tell people, and nothing changes. Nothing's gonna change because they're making so much money doing this stupid shit, and it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you made. Like, a typical bundle is 2,400 quad points. That's $24. And I think the premium whatever, year pass whatever, used to be around $30. So to $40, depending, whether we're talking COD or Battlefield, and you had guaranteed content and maps and weapons. So they'll never go back. At least Call of Duty will never go back to that, because every bundle they're making, they're making stupid amounts of money. That's one reason I stopped buying bundles. Is, I mean, there's nothing. Even there's been some cool grounded bundles that I've liked in the Modern Warfare 3 store, but I just don't buy it, because not only do I not enjoy the gameplay anymore from like the battle royale side, I haven't since Verdansk, but I'm not going to support this kind of crazy stuff that they're doing. So, and I think one thing switching over to PC that I've seen with like the modding community, like you get 4 to 5 decent modders, they can put out more content than Call of Duty does, which is like, that's they should be ashamed. Like we're I think Ninja said something like a year or two ago, like Call of Duty players are just like abused. He made some statement like that. I can't remember specifically what it was, but how like we're like abused because we what Activision and Call of Duty gives us as a player base, and we just like eat it up and think they're amazing and stuff. And then you look at other games, and especially the modding community, like, dude, Ready or Not mods, like there's multiple maps, multiple weapon mods. Like modders come up with guns and put them in games before the studios do. Like the whole 2 weapons a season thing, maybe 1 map, is insane to me. And that really, I think, just speaks to what the actual development time is. Like, I'm really curious what the development teams and time looks like, because I think once the game releases, they have the support crew, and then they have the minimum bare amount of people working on new content crew. Because there's no way, you can't tell me like a single modder for Ready or Not could come up with 16 maps in 2 months, and we get 3 new maps, 4 new maps across like the whole life cycle of a AAA shooter game. It's crazy. So that's one thing I think that like really opened my eyes, is the amount of stuff that modders come up with versus AAA studios come up with is a huge difference. And $24 for a stupid Nicki Minaj bundle, like you're spending $24 on that when the game honestly like is terrible. Warzone's chalked, hasn't been the same since Verdansk. Since as soon as Raven took over in Verdansk days, like the game went completely downhill, and in my mind's never recovered. So I think DMZ was a good savior for a while there, and then Infinity Ward killed that because they just couldn't make any decisions.
And I kind of think, honestly, my rage comes from that, from not rage, but like my disappointment when I die to stuff like that. See a ton of those kids. It's like I look around in the lobby and think how much money these studios have made for much less product than we used to get. And that's just like,
I mean, it's true. And that's, not to go off on a tangent, but just Battlefield 2042 is a great example of that. They saw the live service, what Fortnite and Call of Duty were pulling in, and they thought they would take advantage of that and ride that train, and thought they could get away with releasing terrible product and make the money back in store, which they didn't, because it's very different from Call of Duty. So yeah, it's a big waste of money for sure. I do look back on like early Warzone days. That first, like, what did it come out? Season 3. So season 3 through like, I would say up until Verdansk 84, that was like nostalgic Call of Duty for me. That was a great time that I would love to just go back. Like Warzone, when it first launched, like Modern Warfare 2019 was grounded as heck. It was a it was a return to like boots on the ground, grounded, immersive type Call of Duty. Even though, like I said, even though they introduced weird stuff, they also introduced a lot of grounded, immersive skins. The weapons were great. Like that was a great time. I don't think we'll ever go back to that. Even though with Black Ops 6, there's going to be Verdansk coming midway through. I think the gameplay has changed so much, and like you said, Crash, like just seeing all these wacky skins out there to the extent that it is now versus then is just a huge, like, just a big turnoff for me personally. I don't really have any interest in playing any Call of Duty outside of just making videos.
Yeah, because it went from back in the day, like I'd be excited for like a new season of COD. You'd get your next DLC patch, you knew you're gonna get like 4 or 5 maps. And then, you know, Battlefield would have one drop too in there. So it's like, those are like days you take off work and get excited, man. And then
Yeah,
now
exactly, dude.
you see these crazy skins, and then they post like, here comes season 4 reloaded, and you get this big poster of bullshit, and there's like a map in the corner, like multiplayer gets this, and it's like,
Right.
oh, okay, and the rest of it's just like skins, and like and crossovers and all that stuff.
No, exactly. I think that's, you can see that though with the excitement from the fan base too, right? Like Modern Warfare 2019 was huge. It pulled in a huge audience. I think that's when my content was at its peak on my channel and when I started my channel. And I think that's when everybody was like, Call of Duty is really good again after years of lulls. And now I think, you know, we hit that like peak with where COD was in 2019, and now we're kind of like, you know, coming back downhill. So hopefully we get another, when Infinity Ward hopefully, or somebody comes in with a good like COD again that like revitalizes everyone's excitement without having to rely on Gundam and chicken skin.
Yep.
Or a rapper that we've never heard of.
Oh, there'll be some good ones. Yeah. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and then if we have time before the end, I don't know if you want to talk about because I don't know if did you get enough time to talk about what you were doing with Ghost Recon? Like,
yeah, I think I covered what I wanted. We don't really need to go too much more into it at all.
Okay. Yeah. So Gray Zone Warfare, we got a tweet today. A patch goes live tomorrow. Buff and I have seen the full patch notes, but they're asking us to hold off talking about them until the patch goes live. The stuff that they have tweeted, this is the patch that's been in testing for a while. I have a lot of folks on my Discord that have been testing it, and it seems to be going pretty well. Some people even thought the AI felt a little bit better, which I could honestly see them making AI improvements and not putting them in the patch notes, because I think the last time they put AI changes in the patch notes, literally not everyone, but a lot of people were like, in my YouTube comments were like, oh, the AI is fixed, I might come back to the game. It's like, no, like they made tweaks to the AI. They need a lot of work still, and there's a lot more planned for the AI. So I could see them being a little hesitant in that, but I've heard good things. Over in my Discord too, I've relayed some of the stuff over to the devs that my community has found, and yeah, things have been changed in this patch. I think they learned from their mistakes from the one hotfix that broke everything. So this patch was actually tested in 2 different patches over the last couple weeks, and yeah, there's a lot, man. Like, there's a lot that's not on this tweet that will be talked about in the morning. So I'll have a video live in the morning when you guys wake up, probably, that goes over like everything important within the patch. But the key additions that they talked about is they're still, you know, constantly working on helicopters, 9 more landing zones to help out with camping, and they adjusted some terrain and adjusted the map to accommodate those. Pickup and destination are displayed on the heli details. So if you're going to the same place as someone else, this will especially help in PvE. You can just catch a ride on a heli, do a little carpooling, heli pooling, I guess. Separate sensitivity for aiming down sights. I think that's really important. Optimizations to reduce rubber banding. So I don't know if this is game side or server side stuff they're working on. Rubber banding is rough. I know it's rough for EU servers as well, and other regions, so hopefully those are improvements server side as well, and various VRAM optimizations, so working on optimization. So several of the big problems are being worked on. I don't think this is a holy shit everybody come back to the game moment, but if you're sticking with it, if you're playing the game while they're working through this stuff, I think it's a lot of welcomed additions. And again, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but there are a shitload of fixes. I was
scrolling for a while. Very impressive.
So it's a pretty impressive patch. Just fingers crossed that it goes smoothly. For the nerds out there, no pun intended with Buff being here, they're changing how they name the game. So like the version number, public state, release, update, patch, hotfix, change list, cloud instance is all going to be displayed on the game. So they're changing the naming convention of it. So this is going to be patch 0.1.2.0 -72568 development. Just so you know. So I'm gonna say
Guess
that
you were
every
wondering.
time I talk about this version of the game. I'm gonna say the whole name. But yeah, more details will be out tomorrow. But this is good. Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think in Gray Zone right now? There's really, it's not really a secret. The player numbers have dropped way off. From like its peak of like 75,000. Now it's hanging around 2,000. Do you think the game's cooked, or you think people are just waiting to see improvements?
I think people are just waiting. Like I played it. I haven't played it in like 2 weeks. Mainly just because I've been playing around with other stuff. But I mean, the game's it's so much fun, dude. Especially even if you don't have people to play with, just running stuff solo's fun. You can just get in, find random people that are willing to help you and squad up. Typically, the game's amazing. So I think just some of these fixes that they need to make. I don't think the game's cooked whatsoever. I think it's gonna be around for a long time. I mean, and it's early access, so you got to give them time in this people. I think people forget like the scale of this game. They're doing something that really hasn't been done um, in a game, really, ever, honestly, with the persistent servers and all of that, multiple factions. So there's a lot to this game. I think as more content rolls out, and these fixes that I saw here are really really good. This is a great step in the right direction. This is exactly what we wanted to see. So I'm excited to jump in and play with buddies, and even just when I've gone in solo, man, I just have a blast. It's a lot of fun. So in my mind, the fixes that they're doing here are great. More weapons, more content. They're working on other stuff. So I think where this game's going to be in a few months to a year is going to be crazy. So I think this one's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the game's like a year and a half from now. Just kind of judging on their pace now. I catch myself getting impatient with it because, and I mean, yeah, I see. I don't know the right answer here, but they've talked a lot about what's coming down the road, and it's way down the road. But like, you get excited about it, and you're like, why isn't it in this patch? Why isn't it in this patch? And then you think, day-night cycle is still quite a few months away. Like it might not even be till fall, and like before we see content in the game. So I get impatient as well. Right now, the game's just in a state where they're fixing it. They have enough people testing it now in alpha, in early access, that they can get a lot of this stuff fixed. And you have to fix the base, right? Like, as much as I want to see day-night cycle, I want to see some new guns, I want to see some new quests, I want to see some new faction stuff, I want to see crafting, I want to see some new loot, new kinds of armor. I want to see all that stuff. You can't add that kind of stuff onto a broken base. They have to shore up the foundation. So that's where we're at for the first several months here. After early access launch is getting this ironed out, so they can add stuff on top of it and build on a good foundation.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Is they need to build their foundation first, because you can't build a house on a foundation made of sand. So
yeah, and I know a lot of folks say, and I'm also addressing Bush in chat, that they shouldn't release it yet. I think they had to pay for it, to get it across the finish line. So there's some people that bought the game that don't get that, and they're frustrated, and I understand, because early access, betas, like all that stuff gets thrown around really weird. Like, this beta or whatever is nothing like the Tarkov 10-year beta, right? Like, if you play Tarkov now, it's fairly feature complete from what it's going to be, but it's still technically a beta. This is truly early access. They had a ton of costs to recoup. They had to pay their people. They were to the point where, most people could get through it and play it okay. They had 70,000 concurrent players. It's got, close to 200 quests. Like, there's stuff to do in the game. I've seen games released with less content, for sure. I've seen early access games released in a lot rougher state, but they needed the money to get it across the finish line. Now they got a big injection of money with selling all those copies. They'll be able to pay their people, pay their investors, and get stuff finished. So that's judging from them. And I think so far they've been pretty honest with us about most everything. So they kind of needed the money. Yeah, I don't see any wrongdoing. Like it's a playable game. A lot of people put a lot of hours into it.
Yeah, I like the gameplay is fine for me. They're working on, like, again, this is the whole point of these patches, is working on performance for everybody and building that foundation before. I mean, Rick even said it when we had him on. Like, they have stuff that they could push out today, but they need the foundation ready for it. So
Yep.
give them time, and like you said, yeah, that pays for it, right? This, if it were a free to play game, or if they waited longer, this injected life into that studio and gave the game legs. So it's a good thing.
Yep. I think it'll be cool, but it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time, but they have they have a lot of ambitions for it. And I'm also glad. I don't know. I kind of also think there's good things to be said about it taking a little bit of time. Because you worry about a big influx of money like that they just want to hire a ton of people and knock it out, and then like be bloated and have to lay off people. I think they're kind of just staying the course. I think they're just they're plugging away at the best pace that they can do with the team that they have, and hopefully that'll mean they're not going overboard crazy. So hopefully that means like financially they'll be good for a while to get it to where we want to see it with 1.0, because they got a lot of cool stuff that they're working on. So it's just going to be, are people going to be patient or not? It doesn't look like it from the player numbers, but I think at the end of the day they paid for the game, so when there's cool shit drops, they'll come back. That's kind of how I feel.
Definitely. I mean, Battlefield 2042 is a good example of that. When there was like good content coming in, the game looked like it maybe was where it should have been for release, more people came back. So give it time. I know some people like probably get upset about it. And I know there's this goes back to the Call of Duty talk we just had. I mean, people have no problem spending $24 72 million times a month on chicken bundles and Gundam skins and Teletubbies. But then, you just see the difference here. But that's also that's like the difference in the player base, I would say.
Dude, it
obviously.
is. I didn't even think of that. Dude,
Yep.
I didn't even think of that. You have people on the Call of Duty side that will spend as much as this entire game costs for one skin. It's $34.99 for the game. And I've seen skins that cost more than that. And this has 150 quests, realistic ballistics, a giant ass map in Unreal Engine 5, like all the crazy detail and stuff we've talked about. And you have the updates for the entire rest of the, like if you buy $34.99 now and you're not that excited about it, it's gonna go up when it goes 1.0, but you have the rest of the game like that they add to it. Or you can buy a chicken nugget skin.
Yeah. And play a game that has that's kind of a joke at this point.
It's wild to think about, but you're not wrong. It's wild to think about. You can have a chicken nugget skin or an entire open world extraction survival game.
And but I think that's the difference in the player base, right? I mean, the player base for Call of Duty, the majority of, I don't even know the numbers. One
player base has a fully developed frontal lobe. The other doesn't.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Science.
Said it perfectly.
So, yeah. But no, there'll be a lot more information out tomorrow, and I think you guys will. I think you guys will be pretty impressed with the list of fixes. So,
yeah, definitely big fixes. This game's gonna be great. It is great. I think down the road when there's more content, it's gonna be one of the. I hope it's gonna be one of the games that everyone's like, man, Gray Zone Warfare, just revolutionary game, and the player numbers are like through the roof all the time. That's where I see this game going if they stay the course.
I hope so. I hope it becomes one of those one-of-one games I talk about. I think Siege is one of them. With like the crazy destruction and the complexity of how the operators interact. I think Tarkov is one of them with all the level of detail and stuff like that in the shooter space. And I hope Gray Zone Warfare gets to be one of those unique games that's like, damn, there's not going to be another one of these. I hope so. But anything else?
I think that's all I had. We're got some upcoming excitement in the gaming world for sure. So
Yep. We'll have the
Stay tuned.
test. We'll have the Delta Force test. That'll be awesome to talk about. That'll be fun to talk about. X Defiant did drop season 1. I'm not super amped about it. So I guess we didn't talk about it. I actually forgot about it until just like right now. X Defiant added some new stuff. I really am going to get back into it when they add a bomb mode, which they are allegedly bringing as soon as they can. So a bomb mode is coming to that game. I'll be pretty excited to check that out. But season 1's out for X Defiant. It is free to play. They added the clubhouse map from Rainbow Six Siege and some of the operators from Siege. So that's pretty cool. There's some really weird stuff with balancing on that or whatever. I guess all the operators in the new faction have an extra 20 health, so they can't get one-shot sniped, which is interesting. So I saw people complaining about that. But yeah, that's out there. And then pretty sure next week we'll probably talk to... I'm not gone next week, right, yet? No, the week after. So next week we'll probably be able to talk to Blue a little bit and get us filled in with some of the indie stuff like Incursions and Deadside 2. I really want to talk about Deadside because that's a game that I would recommend picking up while it's on sale because they've been adding stuff to that and supporting it really well. And bringing Jeeps into that, it's going to be super badass on that giant map. It's going to help it a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, all right then. Yeah, I guess that's all we had. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support the show, be a friend, tell a friend. Yeah, share this around, share the audio version around. We'd love it. Leave us a review, leave us a like, a comment.
Yeah, let's do a test on the audio version for the podcast. If you guys leave a like, review on the audio version when Crash and I retweet it when it's up, let's see if that helps. We're getting really good views on it. So let's see if this improves it.
That'd be really cool. I know there's an awesome amount of you guys that listen to the audio version, and I appreciate that. If you do have a second, leave that review, positive review, hopefully, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and see if it helps out. I'd love to know and appreciate your support. And you guys taking time out of your busy day to hang with us, to chat with us, to leave the review. And we just appreciate you guys for consuming the content that we enjoy making. With that being said, have an awesome week. Hopefully we're back in full force next Monday. That is the plan, unless something blows up in my face again. And yeah, so we'll shoot for that. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
Peace.